Coming at you with raid boss number 6, we have Ampharos. Ampharos is a special attacker, so you will have to be leaving your metagrosses in the box again. I am solo queuing right now. We got a little strat worked out for solo queue. You'll see how it plays out in a second, but as usual, we will be leading with a screen setter. In this case, we are leading light screen to block special attacks. Our goal, hopefully here, will be to stay alive, set a couple screens. Status is not that important for this fight. Ampharos is immune to Thunder Wave. Burn's not going to do all that much. It's kind of a waste of a turn. I could paralyze the Alakazam, though it's not all that important. The ideal thing would be for Alpha Sableye to get out here. If the team can get Ampharos down to, it's around 80%, I want to say, 80, 75%. Ampharos has an automatic move. It will use Cotton Guard. Cotton Guard gives it a +3 defense boost, and I think that that's going to be the big gotcha for everyone in this fight. We will set Reflect, make sure that no one else is doing that. So Reflect is going to be somewhat useful. Absol on the right here, that's important. It's up. Hopefully it saves this Hydreigon from dying from this close combat. We'll see what happens. So Absol is a physically attacking ad. I think the rest are special. It's Ampharos, Alakazam, and I forget what the fourth might be. The ads, Whimsicott. Whimsicott is a huge pain. It's Prankster and will set Tailwind. It will paralyze and do a few other things. You kind of want to take it out when you can. Our Sableye goes down now. That's good. So my goal right now. Oh no. That's an unlucky crit. That crit went through the Reflect too. My goal right now is to get Ampharos down to 80%. And the secret weapon for this fight, what I think will be classic XP share left on the Pokemon, but is going to be Haze to deal with the stat changes from Ampharos. It won't work on allied Pokemon, thankfully. Otherwise, you could get griefed by your team members here. That's going to be the big one. If that +3 defense stays up, all of your Earthquake Pokemon are going to be really, really, really SOL. And one of our team members did, in fact, use Toxic in his safeguard. That's unfortunate. I did neglect to mention at the beginning there is a safeguard. There's the Cotton Guard, came at around 80%. So hoping that we take 3 Dragon Pulses right to the... Oh, no, it was the Excadrill. That was unfortunate that close combat crit. So there's my lead into my next segment. I highly recommend Excadrill for this fight. That was super unlucky with the Absol. I bought an Excadrill for 20k on the GTL. We can check what this was the moveset it came with. We can check what the actual price is once this video comes out, and people might start buying them up when they figure out how good Excadrill is going to be. It resists all of Ampharos's regular attacks, which is massive. And then compared to like your Crocodiles, your Garchomps, your Flygons, maybe, they just crumble from the Dragon Pulses. We have the Tailwind, so we haven't seen an Ampharos move yet. But I reckon I'm about to take 3 Dragon Pulses. Discharge first. I might like the Discharge better, given the field. Nope, it wants to... Okay, so my plan is not working. We'll take it. What are we're doing only 2.8%, unfortunately, right now with the defense boost. So my goal would actually be to have my Garchomp faint out. I can't hard swap into the Murkrow. It will just get one hit KO'd and knocked out. I won't be able to get the Haze off. So we're just gonna have to hope and pray that the AI wants to pick me eventually here. Yeah, it's kind of just luck of the draw depending on what your teammates are going to bring. And then there's the mechanic, this is around 60%, I'd say, 63, 62%. We see a light screen. Most people, I think, are going to be bringing Earthquake Pokemon. I don't think light screen is going to play that much of a role, so I don't think you want to drop your own screens with like Defog or something. If this T-Tar had Brick Break, that would be great to help these Typhlosions out. That's something you can consider, but I wouldn't necessarily plan around that screen. I don't think it's all that high of a priority to consider in terms of what you want to prioritize if you're a solo queuer. If you are playing this with team members and you can coordinate, definitely be coordinating who's doing what with screens, who's doing what with Haze. You can also throw Screech on Pokemon. Gliscor learns Screech, for example. That's how we handle the defense boost. And this Ampharos just wants to hit everything that isn't my Garchomp. So we're just happy to EQ spam away then, I guess. Choice banded EQ. I think I am PP maxed. That may come into play. So if you have the option and the funds, there we go. We're finally taking some damage. That's good. Eventually I'll get in, be able to haze this, and then in comes the Excadrill. It will not be EV trained at all, just to see, what we're doing. If you have the time and you're struggling, I highly recommend just going and EV training. I am just doing this for expediency's sake, so that I can kind of see what Excadrill does. You can see what Excadrill does. It could be the sort of thing where with like the metagross strategy, we might not need the added EV training. But overall, the quick TLDR of the strategy, I'll throw this in the comments, is set light screen, set reflect if possible, get a frail EQer in just to get some damage off until you get down to 80%, get back in with a prankster Murkrow, use Haze, then bring an Excadrill in. It should stay up a while. Make sure it's choice banded. You're just going to be spamming EQ. And I just can't get this Garchomp to faint. One thing that I could do is potentially swap into something else. I brought, this is kind of a 4 Pokemon strategy for this solo queue instance. I brought these two. We tried Reuniclus a couple times, and honestly, it's a little bit too slow to bulk up with Calm Mind. I'm also not running Recover on it right now. I was getting away with it with those other fights, and I got greedy and took Recover off. If I had Recover, it might have worked. That is an option. The light screen does become a problem for Reuniclus, though. And then additionally, last mechanic is there is a stat wipe. It could be coming soon. It might be 25%. So it's a stat wipe and no way to reapply those stat bonuses. So the double dance defensive sweepers will be useless at that point. You'll have to swap out. So you'd have to go Reuniclus and then have some Earthquake Pokemon in the back like an Excadrill. So Excadrill, just like this one, you can go out. The only reason that you want this Excadrill is it's typing. The Steel in addition is big instead of having something like Dark or Dragon because of the Signal Beam and Dragon Pulse from Ampharos. So it's really just the fact that you have the typing. That's the only thing that's important. If you were making an Excadrill for something more long term, which I would recommend, I would definitely give it the ability or have access to hidden ability. Usually you want the hidden ability, but there may be niche cases where you swap it over for Sand Rush. And yep, Ampharos is targeting the other Garchomp finally, not mine. So I really thought this was going to be a more difficult solo queue fight. Finally, there we go. So I'll get it. Hopefully we'll get one. The defense boost is gone anyway. Maybe you won't need it, but I would say, if possible, you definitely want to play around that defog or Haze rather. Don't need it. I'll set. Do we have light screen up? Okay, I'll just bring in Reuniclus to light screen. 2 screeners, honestly, not a bad move if you just have a second screen Pokemon for something like this where screens are down, no one's setting them. Hopefully we can get it off before Reuniclus faints. But just having that second screen setter so you can, one of your Earthquake Pokemon, one of your damage dealers faints, then you have an instant swap in and you can reset. Having everyone on the team, if you're coordinating, having an extra screen setter is really, really good. You save your, if I didn't let my Prankster Sableye faint, then I could have potentially used that again. But that sort of thing, keeping screens up is important. Luckily, we resist that close combat, and then the screen should go up. And that's a one fight. I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting to one-shot this. It is a bit more difficult of a fight. Kind of depends on the ads that you get. Whimsicott can definitely make your life painful. There may be kind of luck of the draw on that front, especially if you're soloing this. Getting an Absol on your side, let's say when you have that Excadrill, could spell disaster. So I'm not even going to get into the Excadrill. I'll just hard swap and see if I bait any attacks out. We'll see what happens. The Absol attack it already picked before I switched. Fun fact about the boss AI, the AI runs again once the first move is used. So it will pick the first move depending on what's on the field. You can switch, and then it will pick the second and third. So that's something to consider when you are trying to figure out what the AI will do. So I thought that this is going to be a more difficult solo queue fight. I've seen some people reporting that they're struggling with it. The fight can definitely go in a lot of different ways depending on RNG, depending on your team. I got a really good team there. It seemed like as far as coordination goes, we got a nice little 2 times 31 for Ampharos. Ideal stats there for a special attacker, though I don't think it's all that useful of a Pokemon, but you never know with the new PVM content coming our way. You never know what's going to be useful. Plus could come in handy. So that was the fight. Headline, though I didn't really get to use it, is that Haze Murkrow would recommend give it a shot. It can getting that +3 defense down from Ampharos can make a huge difference for a solo queue fight. So keep that in mind, and good luck with your fights. Let me know how it goes. Thanks.